Salena, Zito, good morning. How are you?
I'm sorry, I don't have any. I don't have any electricity. I
Well,
couldn't
it is
use
it
my
is
computer.
Pennsylvania. It is Pennsylvania, so stuff breaks. Salena, Zito, my began the show by saying, upon further review, the officials in the booth have reversed the call on the field concerning the debate. My call was Trump lost the debate but won the war because they talked about migration. But as the day went on, I came to believe ABC was so monstrously biased that people are mad at the weaponization of the media and ambush media. I think Trump may end up winning going away because of that debate. What did you hear in around your circle and throughout Pennsylvania yesterday in the aftermath of the debate?
Well, I watched it in a bar first of all, so that kind of helped me have a
Yes, it does.
reality check. It's never good to be a reporter and watch it in the debate room with other reporters because everyone has the same opinion. And you want to have it from the viewpoint of the people that are actually going to decide the election. And to your point, um, the initial reaction, and I think it remains the same. She may have won in terms of, she outperformed expectations, but in terms of winning any new votes over, that did not happen. And in terms of earning new votes, I think ABC is the one, to your point, that blocked that ability. I was sitting with a gentleman who, he was talking. He goes, "Look, I don't personally like Trump," and we've all heard that scenario, right? He said, "I just don't like his comportment. It just grates on me." However, as I am someone who has struggled to get ahead in my career, and a lot of it had to do with not my abilities, but because I had forces working against me. And he goes, well, whatever the landscape is in my industry, it's always fraught with a lot of politics. It's not American politics, but what you're willing to do for the job. And when I watch them, as I'm watching the moderators, try to get in the way of him having any success, I'm getting pissed.
Yep.
And it's pulling me towards him. He goes, and I don't. He goes, this is very hard for me to admit. But
This is a boomerang effect that we often see when, like, lawfare worked to Trump's benefit. Right? People
yeah,
realize this is not fair. Now, media has been weaponized by ABC, and I think Disney told them, "Don't bring up China. We got theme parks there." I mean, I really do think that happened because not one
it,
question on China. Isn't that kind of stunning?
yeah. It was, well, the lack of depth of questioning on the inflation was just basically criminal.
And Iran's going to get a nuclear weapon. We've been talking about that in presidential debates since 2000, and they didn't ask. Okay, Selena, I got to get to this. You're your own editor. I hope you tell me what's going on in Springfield, because Ohio, because I don't trust anyone. I do trust Attorney General David Yost of Ohio, who posted
Yeah,
this
yeah.
yesterday at 9:38 a.m. There is a recorded police call from a witness who saw immigrants capturing geese for food in Springfield. Citizens testified to the city council. These people would be competent witnesses in court. Why does the media, he means ABC here, find a carefully worded City Hall press release better evidence? That's the Attorney General of Ohio side swiping ABC News for so-called "I talked to the city manager" stuff. Have you been to Springfield? I didn't know 20,000 Haitians had been dropped on this town and 58,000 people in the last 3 years.
Yeah, I did know about this in terms of knowing about them being brought there. They're also brought to a small town right here in western Pennsylvania called Charleroi. I have not been to either, but those are my weekend plans. I'm starting in Charleroi and then going to Springfield.
Good, because if I were one of your editors, I would want 3,000 words on Springfield. Because all of us, I mean, this is how debates backfire on people who fix debates. You make David Muir, you contradict the former president of the United States, and you contradict all the media stories about the pets and the dogs and people complaining. Then you get the Attorney General of Ohio rebuking you, and then you get Salena Zito going and filing one of the most popular columns in America on Springfield, and all of a sudden you got egg on your face. Does Muir and Lindsay Davis ever recover from this, Salena? I mean, will anyone ever trust them again?
That was a Candy Crowley moment, and where is Candy Crowley today? Nobody.
Upper Peninsula. She retired to Michigan, but she retired early. Before this, Candy had one bad moment. I like Candy. Candy's been a friend for years.
Yeah.
I kind of like. I know Chris Wallace to nod at him. Of all the funniest places to meet him, I met him in the Senate dining room once. That's the only time I ever met him. But I'll tell you this. He had the worst debate performance. He's the happiest man in America because he blew the first Trump-Biden debate badly. He just totally lost control. They didn't lose control. They just manipulated this is so scripted. I've done 5 of these, right, with primary debates, and I've worked with CNN 4 times, NBC. This is all scripted, Salena. None of that was by accident.
No, of course none of that was by accident because their editors, had a heavy hand in maybe not originating the questions, but certainly guiding them, refining them,
Salena,
and putting them. Yes,
they do originate the question. I've been there. The NBC the NBC process had 50 people working on it. Day 1 through 4 was, here are the questions we think you should ask. And I said, no. Here are the questions I'm going to ask. Let's work my questions, workshop. Because I don't want to ask a bad question. I appreciate input. And my questions changed. And then we decide where they're going to go. And the talent from the networks don't come up with questions. The executive producer is the lead, but the head of ABC News, the head of ABC, and I guarantee Bob Iger was in there somewhere, if not in presence, in phone call, because not asking about China. Let's close there. I'm convinced Disney told ABC, you cannot destroy our business in China by bringing up what happens if they attempt to invade Taiwan.
Oh, I don't disagree with you at all. It's criminal that China wasn't mentioned. I mean, the three biggest issues for the voter, which is inflation, immigration, and where does fentanyl come from? China.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Asked?
You're right. There are 110,000 American families in the last year wondering, what are you going to do about fentanyl in China and Mexico? And it didn't get asked.
Right. I mean, it comes through the border, but it's made in China, and they bring it to Mexico, and it comes across the border.
I got to ask you as well, Hirsch Goldberg pollen, and, Tree of Life Synagogue is in Pittsburgh, attacked by an far-right extremist, and we covered that rightfully for a long time. Hirsch Goldberg pollen executed in cold blood 10 days ago. He's an American. He's also an Israeli citizen. Not a word. Not a word. Many Americans killed on 10/7. And this debate occurred on the eve of 9/11. And there was a terrorist caught coming in. Not a word about terrorism. I just can't get over how bad that debate was. Salena, last word to you.
The debate was terrible, and this is probably why I'll never be picked to be a moderator, because if someone took my questions, and the questions would be about the people that I cover and the people that and the things that the American people care about, and told me, no, we're going to talk about this, I would have said, well, I can't do this because nobody cares about what you're talking about. And I feel, and that was the overall sentiment I received from people in the bar. They're like, why are they even asking these questions? Yeah.
Do you have any regrets about January 6th? What a stupid question. And I'll tell you, I know from firsthand experience how this happened. Zito Salena on X, or go to her website, Salena Zito, get her newsletter, get everything she writes. She may be the best columnist in America, and Salena Zito is funny, even though she's a yinzer without power, sitting in the dark in Pittsburgh. Thank you, Salena.